From the ABC 27 Digital Now Center, this is Beyond the Forecast with your most accurate local meteorologists.
Hi, everybody. It is great to be back with you live here this morning, not only on social media, but also recording this for our ABC 27 Plus app and, of course, abc27.com. I was away for a while taking some of our viewers up to Alaska to see the wilderness up there, Mount Denali National Park, and we also had a cruise through the Inside Passage, which was beautiful. But now I'm back. It's finally great to be with all of you here. And I'm excited. I'm excited to come back and talk about weather, especially because, believe it or not, we've had a dry stretch here for the last 2 weeks, and we're going to get into all of that today as we look at the forecast, because today will be our best chance of rain over the next probably week or so. Now, there will be some other chances, but for those of you that have some brown lawns, today may be the best chance yet. So let's get started here. In Hershey, we can see some clouds increasing already this morning. The sun is still out, and things look okay as we move into this Wednesday. But as nice of a morning as it is, I do think things will go downhill a bit. If you have afternoon plans, you're going to want to listen up because we do anticipate that, at times the weather could go downhill. In fact, we're already seeing showers on the satellite and radar right now, as we can see here across the northwest. It is starting to rain in places just to the west of Center and Huntington County. So we'll see how early these things can sneak in here. Most of the guidance I looked at earlier said around lunchtime, but some of these things are sneaking in a little bit earlier than that now. Temperatures are in the 70s. It is another mild and muggy day, and dew points have increased as well. We're about 5 degrees warmer or so than yesterday at this time as temperatures continue to climb. And dew points now already climbing into the low to mid 70s. So the atmosphere is primed up. We are souped up for another day that will feature potentially heavy rain, although I think we should be able to handle it given the recent dry stretch. We had no rain yesterday. We made it to 93. It's been a hot start to the week. Notice our departure numbers now. We still have a surplus, but it's under 2 inches, and we've had a dry August so far. We have not had any measurable rain in August, or at least not much. And so this will help some lawns and gardens out today. But the clouds are building over Harrisburg. And temperatures today, I think with these clouds, we're going to be just shy of 90 degrees. We do not expect highs to hit 90, although PrecisionCast says we can. I think it depends on how much sun we get. But it is going to be stormy here today, as we can see on our PrecisionCast here, our surface map. We've got a prefrontal trough, and I'll take this full screen so that you can see what I mean. We've got a prefrontal trough, and then we've got an actual front that's coming in here behind that. So when we look at that, you can clearly see what we're talking about with the storms in the forecast today. So this is really our best shot if you're hoping for some rain that we've got for you here. And we anticipate it to be an issue later on. Let's take you hour by hour. To me, it seems like these things are going to be an early afternoon problem for the western part of the region, and then more of a late afternoon, early evening issue for areas east of the river. Could affect Lancaster, for example, during the evening commute tonight, as we see. And then these things are gone by about 7:30. So, if you have evening plans, get outside and enjoy the later evening. You might even get some practice time in if you live west of the Susquehanna River. So that's something to keep in mind, too. As we look ahead into the day on Thursday, I think tomorrow, you'll notice that there are some showers, but they are mainly south and east now of the region here. If I draw a line on the map, you can see what I mean. This is where the front looks to be stationed, from New York down to Baltimore. So I think we may see a dry day here on Thursday. And then for Friday, check it out. Lots of sunshine and temperatures, well, they are going to cooperate nicely, I think, as the humidity starts to drop off. Now, let's show you highs. This says we can hit 90 today. I'm dubious of that. I think 90 is going to be a stretch with the cloud cover. When we look at PrecisionCast, we can see the numbers here. That also takes us into the 60s tonight. I don't buy that. I think it's going to be muggy. I think we'll stay in the 70s. Temperatures should be just shy of 90 degrees again tomorrow, and I think it stays humid. Rainfall amounts could top an inch in some of those yellow and orange areas, but notice how isolated they are. I think most of us get by today with less rain, and some of us may even get zilch out of this today. It just depends on where the heaviest axis sets up. No good way to forecast it. Your neighborhood next door may get an inch. You may get nothing. That's just the way that these storms work. Now, the humidity does drop over the weekend pretty nicely, and then it goes back up early next week ahead of a front. That front could bring us a storm here Monday and Tuesday. Notice on Sunday, I think the front is still well to our north and west. Here's the front right here, and then it's going to drop in Monday, where it gives us a chance for a stray storm on Monday. And then by Tuesday, you'll notice that we've got more scattered thunderstorms ahead next week, and that is going to help to keep this at bay. This right here will be Hurricane Erin, and that is going to sit off the East Coast next week, and luckily it should not affect many people. Let's talk about the tropics, and then we're going to go back to today's forecast. There is Erin, just a blob out in the Atlantic Ocean right now. It's moving west at a good clip, 20 miles an hour, and it has winds at 45 miles an hour. It's going to continue to strengthen as it reaches warmer waters. This is a storm that will reach major hurricane status, getting to Category 3 by the weekend, and it's going to move north of Puerto Rico, thank goodness. But by Monday, it is going to be a Category 3 hurricane churning near the U.S. East Coast. But most of our models and a lot of the tropical models we look at here, including our spaghetti plots, take this thing and start to curve it to the east of the U.S. That's a good sign. If you're going to the beach this weekend, you'll probably notice some riptides, though, and you've got to be careful of that. 88 today, scattered downpours and storms likely from noon through about 6 p.m. That seems to be the timing for these. 72 tonight, partly cloudy, muggy. Dew points stay up tomorrow. It's still going to be humid. I'll tell you, that stray shower chance tomorrow to me looks a little dubious now. I think most of tomorrow will be dry. Friday and Saturday look pleasant. Sunday looks hot and humid, and then more storms, as I mentioned here, early next week. But let's talk a little bit now about I want to go to our HER model now, because that is going to be something where I think if I can bring that up, and we're going to try to do that, that's going to be something that can give us a more detailed glimpse as to what is going to happen here later on today. So let's go to see if we can do it. Here it is. This is the HRRR, and if you've watched our Beyond the Forecast videos, you know I use this a lot because this is our high-res guidance here. This has the same issue, sort of early afternoon in the west and then later afternoon in the east, but it has everything pretty much south of us by early this evening. So that's good news, and I think that would hold true. Let's go to the NAM, the latest NAM, and see what this has to say, which is also another high-res model. And we'll just walk you through. This is all to try to help you time out your plans today. Let's see. Here's 18Z, which is early afternoon, and this doesn't have much. And then everything kind of sinks south by this evening. This also keeps the shower threat south tomorrow as we look ahead into Friday. So to me, I think that a lot of the shower activity is going to be confined to early this afternoon west of the river, late this afternoon east of the river with some embedded thunderstorms, and then things should improve. Let's talk temperatures. Let's talk long-range temperatures now because as you can see here, we stay near 90 through the weekend, and then we start to cool off by the middle part of next week. This is the blend of models. The European kind of shows the same thing. Look at the cool down here as we move into the middle to late part of next week. And, of course, one of my favorite things to show is the dew points. I want to take you to the dew points and show you the latest there because we want to see them drop off, don't we? That's the best thing, when we can see the dew points drop. So let's take you through here. They're going to stay pretty healthy today. This is what's going to give us the rainfall and the chance of storms. Now, do they drop off tomorrow? I don't think they do. They try to in the northwest, but here in the southeast, dew points remain pretty high tomorrow. It's not until tomorrow night that we start to see the dew points. Look at that dry air, that refreshing air coming in for Friday. And even then, dew points still climb into the upper 60s. So there's still going to be a touch of humidity around during the day on Friday. Finally, I wanted to show you the latest from the National Hurricane Center on Tropical Storm Erin. And here is their messaging. Erin could move close enough to the northern Leeward Islands, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico over the weekend to produce some impacts. The magnitude of those impacts is still not known, but they need to monitor the storm. At this point, a major hurricane turning to the north of those islands would be good news, but we need to wait and see. And then, of course, there's greater uncertainty in what impacts might occur in portions east of the Greater Antilles, the Bahamas, the east coast of the United States, and Bermuda. So we're into almost the peak of hurricane season, this is an opportune time to make sure you've got plans in place just in case. And while I do not expect this hurricane to impact us here, it is going to sit off the East Coast. So it's something we're going to be monitoring very closely over the weekend. For now, I'm meteorologist Brett Thackara for Beyond the Forecast. Thanks for breaking down the weather with me and chatting. We'll see you next time.